Let's see. Okay, are you seeing my screen in presenter mode?
Yes, I am.
All right. All right, let's get started. Thank you everyone for coming. Today's webinar is about driving your business forward by modernizing your applications. So thank you for taking some time out today to join us on this discussion. Please feel free to use the chat and pop in any questions, and we'll field those questions and try to answer them throughout the discussion. So let me start with our agenda, and this is going to kind of be the general flow of topics that I'll follow for the next 45 minutes or so. We'll look at what is app modernization and trends driving the focus and investments in digital capabilities. The digital capabilities that produce business outcomes and drive organizational impact. Also share the vision of digital and app innovation and the components that comprise this vision. Woven throughout this discussion, you'll notice a theme of cloud as an enabler to creating these digital capabilities. Finally, I'll introduce my team at 3Cloud and how we can partner with you to assess your business initiatives, prioritize and plan a roadmap to creating digital capabilities, and assist you in the development of these capabilities that will result in measurable business outcomes. Okay. A little bit about me. My name is Michael Kiermit, and I'm a solutions director at 3Cloud on the Agile software delivery team. This is the team that aligns with digital and app innovation, and generally could be thought of as the app development, DevSecOps, and automation national practice areas of 3Cloud. My roots are here in St. Louis, but I've had the privilege of working with organizations across the world in a variety of different verticals, oil and gas, manufacturing, etc., on digital and app innovation. The other thing I like to do is I like to participate in the local regional community, technical community here. I'll take this opportunity to put in a selfish plug. We're super excited that we're starting to get back to some resemblance of normal. And along with some few other tech leaders here in St. Louis, we're bringing back an in-person technical conference that we have been forced to cancel the past 2 years due to COVID. So this June, the DevOps conference will feature 3 days of technical and soft skill content targeted towards developers. So if you're in or around the St. Louis area, I invite you to come join us on June 6th through 9th. I put the URL up there, and you could just go there to get some details. This school year, this academic school year marks my second year volunteering for a Microsoft philanthropic program called TEALS, and that stands for Technology, Education, and Literacy in Schools. In that role there, I volunteer supporting the computer science language AP course, which is based on Java and object-oriented programming. That was a tongue twister for me. So let's get started. Let me get started by framing up our discussion today. The business world is moving into the digital space faster than ever before, and business success depends on making the best use of custom applications to communicate and interact with customers, employees, and partners. And over the past year, what we've seen is many organizations around the world are accelerating innovation and building amazing customer applications and internal line of business solutions while working remotely. So as we go through our dialogue today, I just want to make sure that I'll be using these phrases app modernization and app innovation interchangeably. So please try not to get confused. Regardless of the industry, the most strategic decisions organizations can make that impact business outcomes are around digital transformation and the adoption of digital tools at scale. Digital technology must be the servant of business outcomes. It cannot be the reverse, right? And this allows organizations to realize efficiencies across their businesses, to harness data to deliver differentiated customer experiences, make collaboration seamless wherever employees are located, and thwart emerging security threats. This is the foundation of co-innovation that ensures digital strategy and is aligned to business outcomes and delivers measurable value. I have here on the screen a few examples. With the onset of COVID-19, Walgreens Boots Alliance created a risk assessment bot using the Microsoft Healthcare bot service, which made it easy to build and deploy an AI-powered, compliant, conversational healthcare experience at scale. The Microsoft Healthcare bot service also provided built-in medical intelligence and natural language capabilities that could help easily and efficiently build their COVID-19 response chatbot, which was put into production very quickly in less than a week. And as CDC guidelines were updated and it changed very often, the healthcare bot service allowed changes to be made to the bot in near real time with deployment in seconds. As one of the world's largest international banks, HSBC in the financial services sector there has combined the convenience afforded by smartphones with cloud services to enable cashless transactions. And with the PayMe application from HSBC, people can use their smartphones to perform payments digitally, both by exchanging money with people in their personal network or with businesses to collect payments instantly. So Azure is helping the PayMe team deliver a great customer experience, and 98% of all their transactions are completed very, very fast in about 500 milliseconds or less, while being tightly secured. In the manufacturing sector, commitment to quality is reflected in everything that Toyota North America does. They have more than 1,400 employees that quality check deliveries of aftermarket accessory installs when vehicles are sold. And in the past, the quality check was done through a legacy web application that was only available on the PC and reached a limiting 10% of their dealerships. This new vehicle delivery app is now used by all Toyota dealerships to verify that vehicles have the accessories correctly installed before the customer even takes delivery at the dealership. Like all e-commerce platforms, ASOS, which is an online fashion and cosmetic retailer, needed an elastic platform to meet seasonal demand and instant updates with high reliability in any location. They also use machine learning to support a very powerful built-in recommendation engine that tailors results for customers. In the government sector, with over 140 different departments and over 200,000 employees, the California Department of Technology keeps state departments up to date on the latest tech, while ensuring that almost 40 million residents can easily access public health and emergency services information. The department builds and manages hundreds of websites that serve critical purposes for the citizens of California, such as unemployment benefits, COVID-19 response and vaccination systems, or even seasonal wildfire response. Over time, what they've done is they've established a culture of collaboration through cloud and automation. And so what has resulted in is the California Department of Technology is able to turn out code, applications, and websites in a fraction of the amount of time it was traditionally done in the past, seeing the changes within just minutes. We're also seeing a few key trends that drive our focus and investments in app innovation. Public cloud adoption accelerates innovation. Whether you need to modernize existing applications or build new applications in the cloud, organizations see increased innovation and better experiences while moving line of business and customer apps to the cloud. There's also a strong sense of urgency in going digital, which is driving demand for tools and service that can shorten the time to market for their applications. The changed macro environment affects business operation and working conditions, and organizations continue to assess and prioritize their investments. Some examples of these that are current are things like supply chain challenges. You probably heard of the microchip shortages. COVID-19 2 years ago, organizations had to react to the impact of the COVID-19 responses, and then very quickly remediate risks to remain in business. 2 years in, all these organizations are being forced to reinvent themselves to become relevant. In recent months, we're also seeing the effects of geopolitical events, including inflation, the conflict in Ukraine, and rising cost of fuel. With the majority of application development happening remotely and hybrid work, the notion of hybrid work is here to stay for a while. We've seen a strong interest from customers in DevOps practices and modern cloud-based developer tools to deliver productivity during remote development while collaborating globally and securely. We're also seeing companies are increasing the talent pool of persons outside of IT who can also build applications. And we see a trend of developers and business experts working together to build low-code or no-code solutions that are more impactful for the unique needs and capabilities of the business. We all heard the phrase, data's the new oil, right? Data volumes are growing rapidly, driven by IoT sensor telemetry, social media, and web, and other unstructured data. And organizations are building new and smarter applications that harness this data. These applications are powering important customer-centric business processes and applying AI and machine learning to infuse intelligence and real-time personalization to serve up customized algorithms. Over the last few years, businesses have led or have had to deal with data security issues. So taking a hard look at the reliability and security of their application infrastructure and data assets. Security is a major area of ongoing investments, including the notion of shift left, automation, and embedding controls in the software development pipeline itself. And often this is a key drive to moving application development and data assets to the cloud. Technological capabilities are instrumental in building resilience, and as software and digital technology represent the most malleable and infinite resource ever created, to create solutions that model your what differentiates you in your market. The world will be transformed, we believe, through this notion of tech intensity and digital transformation at scale. And every organization will need to build its own digital capability. Digital capabilities which align with a business strategy and produce measurable business outcomes. Successful digital capabilities for building digitally resilient organizations include modernizing applications and establishing future-proof platforms that connect all data. Most organizations carry mission-critical applications built over time. These organizations will need to be proactive by reassessing these applications through the lens of the current landscape, and instead of sinking investments to the care and feeding and maintenance of these systems, they should try to make investments to future-proof them. as they find out new opportunities for efficiencies, or maybe even revenue opportunities or opportunities to reduce costs, building new intelligent apps and supporting high performance intelligent apps of any scale are important to support these new emerging business opportunities. The changing landscape has introduced opportunities for new ways to engage customers, opportunities to support hybrid work, harness operational efficiencies, new ways to collaborate and integrate with business partners, and certainly new revenue stream opportunities. You go down that pyramid there, you'll see this notion of being able to scale through what's called fusion teams and bridging the collaboration of professional developers with end users. We'll talk a little bit about that later. Developing collaboratively and securely with best-in-class developer tools and cloud platform, and that's the whole standardizing with DevSecOps. All on top of a foundation of trust that supports modern applications. So Microsoft Azure is really the underpinning or the platform that enables the application innovation and app modernization vision that you're seeing here. And as you adopt and optimize the use of Microsoft's cloud platform in your app modernization journey, take advantage of every piece of expertise and experience to minimize the risk to timelines and investments and ensure that the intended business impact is realized of these innovative solutions that you're trying to build. ThreeCloud is a 100% Azure-focused consulting firm created by two former Microsoft executives, Mike Rocco and Jim Dietrich. And as the largest pure-play Microsoft partner, our mission is to deliver you the ultimate Azure experience, making the cloud work for you with our Azure services. You can see that we have 6 national practices, which feature over 500 Azure experts with an average of about 15 plus years of technology experience. I like this next slide. I like sharing it because it gives you a peek behind the curtain on the ThreeCloud makeup and how it has built itself as an Azure powerhouse, and how as you see, as Microsoft's largest Azure dedicated partner, ThreeCloud's competencies here are in infrastructure and operations, data and analytics, app development, and DevOps. And to me, this is one of the many examples demonstrating the strength of ThreeCloud's alliance with Microsoft, because we are in direct alignment with Microsoft's solution areas for Azure. So wherever you are in the app innovation or app modernization journey, our team is here to help. And we have been able to bundle our expertise and our experiences in a variety of jumpstarts and accelerators and packages, if you will, that can assist you in accelerating your innovation and modernization initiatives. I'll touch on a few of those as they pertain to the notion of app modernization and app innovation in the next few slides. Some organizations struggle with even just trying to envision what the app of the future could look like. And to help organizations harness the power of the cloud native technologies, ThreeCloud offers what we call the app of the future engagement. In this engagement, ThreeCloud will conduct a design thinking workshop to uncover what your top business objectives are, ideate on solutions, and produce Azure services and architect design recommendations along with cost estimates. Notice that the focus here is on business initiatives. When you're looking at building digital capabilities through app modernization or app innovation, we must make sure that it is to drive business outcomes and impact. What you can expect here is a tight correlation behind ideas and measurable outcomes relevant to the impact that you're striving to achieve. And so when I think about this engagement, the distinctive characteristic is a heavy focus on business outcomes relative to the technical considerations. We also have helped organizations with existing apps that need to be modernized. These are typically mission critical apps that have been built and maintained over a period of time, and changing business or operational conditions warrant some modernization changes. Perhaps what started off as a simple internal app has been slowly built over time to serve a greater population of users. And there's a concern of its ability to scale and or be secure, right? With 3Cloud's app innovation engagement, an analysis of these apps will be performed to understand the current state, the dependencies of the application, and the overall architecture. We'll then look at migration options, also known as the 3 Rs, rehost, refactor, or re-architect, and develop a well-architected future state cloud architecture that supports the business objective. The output of this engagement will be a set of roadmaps, which include timelines, effort, and associated Azure costs to achieve future state design that will drive your business impact. Many organizations already have strong development competencies and are looking at or are already adopting container technologies. In the container world, Kubernetes is the most popular container orchestrator, but it can be difficult. Microsoft has introduced managed platforms to abstract away some of the complexities of Kubernetes through what they call their managed Azure Kubernetes service. 3Cloud has the AKS Accelerator, which helps you deploy and manage the AKS service platform and deploy and scale applications that will be hosted on that orchestrator. This accelerator also features documented governance and best practices, as well as a look into the tools and skills required to modernize apps to containers that will be hosted on AKS. Similarly, organizations may prefer Java as their tech stack or Spring Boot apps as their core development stack. Microsoft also provides a managed service specifically for Spring Boot apps. And similar to the AKS Accelerator I showed you before, we have the Spring Cloud Accelerator to help you deploy and manage the platform and deploy and scale your Java microservices and containers. This accelerator also features documented governance and best practices, as well as a look into the tools and skills required to modernize apps to containers that will be hosted on Azure Spring Cloud. Earlier, I highlighted a few trends that are driving focus and investments for organization. And what we've been seeing is the pervasive desire to build what's called an API economy of sorts, a modern middleware platform to support digital integration within the organization, as well as externally to partners and customers. The modern middleware solution is centered around a set of services in Azure, referred to as Azure Integration Services, with the center of it being this service called Azure API Management. 3Cloud's API Management Accelerator can help your organization reap the value of digital integration to drive business impact. This can produce a solid foundation for you and a base by which you can build modern middleware platform that's not only scalable, but it's also secure. And on top of this cloud native platform, organizations can begin to lay out their APIs and build a rich catalog of digital integration functionality. And that's what we refer to as the API economy. Realistically, organizations still have workloads that must remain on-prem. So having a modern middleware solution that is a hybrid cloud that is able to communicate from the cloud and back to your on-prem resources is very important. In this engagement, in this accelerator here, you can expect a fully configured API management platform, guidance and best practices for deployment and operations, and guidance on how the developer portal can be used to scale the value of the APIs cataloged by the organization's API publishers. Also earlier, I highlighted scaling through this notion of fusion teams as one of the pillars to driving innovation and business outcomes in the organization. When we are talking about app modernization and app innovation, we instinctively think about the pro developer audience with years and years of coding experience. The challenge is that group is a scarce resource. But what if we could grow that group, increase the number of people who have the competency to build innovative apps? Logically, then, more innovation can flow through the organization, perhaps even faster, and hence drive more business impact and desired outcomes. Organizations already have these people, and these are the business people who are neck deep in the day-to-day operations of the business. They know all the nuances of the business processes and flows and have some of the most innovative ideas for innovative applications. They don't need to know how to code because Microsoft is democratizing modern app development through the low-code, no-code tools on the Power Platform. So fusion teams, this notion of fusion teams is the idea of creating a culture of professional and citizen developers within an organization. And what really gets me excited about this idea is not only are we opening the spigot, so to speak, on the innovation velocity, but we're bringing in the experiences and ideas from the folks within the business. 3Cloud can help you foster this notion of fusion teams through the Power Platform Accelerator. One common blocker with adopting this culture is, well, how do we avoid losing control and making this the wild, wild west if we open this up to our business users? Well, with the Power Platform Accelerator, we'll help you address that blocker. In addition to showing you how to create innovative apps, the Accelerator will also address foundations and best practices to govern the use of the platform. With the influx of innovative ideas with this even bigger populace of fusion teams, it can become pretty unwieldy. DevSecOps, the notion of marrying people, process, and tools, is critical to ensure that we're focusing on prioritized initiatives, aligning to business objectives, and controlling and governing how we are creating and delivering innovative solutions to drive business impact. 3Cloud's DevOps Jumpstart has helped many of our clients understand their DevOps maturity, identify critical gaps, and develop tactical plans to improve processes to deliver faster, more often, and securely. With a strong Agile competency within our practices, our Agilists can help you with establishing an Agile culture, which fosters collaboration and continuous delivery of value to your end users. We're building these innovative applications and delivering new organizational capabilities quickly to the business. And all of this will sit on top of that foundation for building modern cloud apps, the foundation of trust that's woven through the Azure fabric. We also want to make sure that we are opening our aperture a little bit to ensure that we are maximizing the value of using Microsoft Azure by looking at our cloud estate through what's called the Azure Well-Architected Framework. This is a set of guiding tenets that we use to identify how we can improve the workloads that we've deployed to Azure. 3Cloud Foundations Assessments assesses your cloud footprint through the lens of these 5 tenets that you see here on the screen. Technical interviews and workshops will be conducted to assess architectures, technology stack, and current user experiences. Interviews with business owners help understand priorities and business roadmaps. We'll uncover disaster recovery objectives like RPO and RTO and any data backup requirements. We'll review security and compliance requirements and alignment to any benchmarks. We'll evaluate any deployment mechanisms for the application as well as the infrastructure as it pertains to CI/CD, automation, and DevOps capabilities. We'll evaluate the mechanisms for deploying the app code and the infrastructure. We'll review the depth of insight from current monitoring and logging configurations. We'll look at the service tiers and configurations of the deployed Azure resources to evaluate the cost effectiveness of the deployed solution. We'll also review the current configurations for auto-scaling the applications and performance management. The output that you can expect from an engagement like this is a detailed readout of the observations, along with recommendations that are aligned to the well-architected tenets, categorized based on severity and effort. So what I've shared here are just a subset of many of the 3Cloud offerings, but most of these here today that I've shared with you are relevant to how we can help you drive app innovation and modernization in your organization. So let's kind of start to summarize what we discussed today. The most strategic decisions organizations can make that impact business outcomes are around digital transformation and the adoption of digital tools at scale. Digital technology must be the servant of business outcomes, allowing organizations to realize efficiencies across their business, harness data to deliver differentiated customer experiences, make collaboration seamless wherever employees or partners are located throughout the world, and be able to thwart emerging security threats. I want to stress it's all about impact and outcomes. I also highlighted a few trends and talked a little bit about a few trends suggesting that organizations build digital resilience. Digital capabilities are instrumental in building this digital resilience, as software and digital technology represent the most malleable and infinite resource ever created. Successful digital capabilities for building resilient organizations include modernizing your existing applications and establishing a future-proof platform that connects all your data, building new intelligent apps and supporting high-performance intelligent apps at any scale to support new and emerging business opportunities, scaling through fusion teams, developing collaboratively and securely with best-in-class developer tools and the cloud platform, all on top of this foundation of trust that supports modern applications. That foundation is Microsoft Azure, the cloud that enables driving the velocity of digital innovation throughout the organization. Every organization will need to build its own digital capability or risk being left behind. And digital capabilities must align to business strategy and produce measurable business outcomes. So 3Cloud, again, I want to just mention, is a 100% Azure-focused consulting firm with the largest pure-play Microsoft partner created by 2 former Microsoft executives. So what I want to stress here is that wherever you are in your app innovation journey, building your organization's digital capabilities, 3Cloud's experience and expertise will ensure that you have the ultimate Azure experience, making the cloud work for you with your Azure services. So I want to kind of conclude by next steps. The next steps here should be start aligning your business priorities and identify the digital capabilities to focus and invest in. Leverage our Azure services to help you successfully accelerate your app modernization journey. Then finally, execute on building your digital capabilities that drive business impact. So I think that is all I have, and I'm going to hand it back over to Liz. And I want to thank you for your time. And
Thank you, Michael.
Yep, thank you.
We actually don't have any questions, so I think that you must have done a very good job.
Okay, well, I can hang on for a few minutes if that's okay, or
Sure, yeah, we can wait and see if any questions come in. And this session has been recorded and it will be available on our website in case anyone wants to refer back to any part of it. Okay, no questions have come in, so I'm going to go ahead and end this session, and thank you for taking the time, Michael.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great weekend.
You as well.